Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Emma, and today I thought I would take you on a bit of a tour through our Roma Caravan. We've been living in our 23-foot Roma Caravan for about the last 10 months, since August last year. And when we were buying this caravan, because it was a older second-hand caravan, I'll insert the date in the screen because I can't remember off the top of my head. We found it really difficult to find videos on second-hand caravans. Just when we were doing our research, there's heaps of stuff up there on new caravans, and obviously you can go to caravan shows and so forth to have a look through them, but when you're buying a second-hand caravan, there are not many videos or information online about the caravan. Also, for our family and friends that haven't been able to come over to Aussie and see our caravan, I just wanted to show you where we have been living for the last 10 months. So here we go. So this is our caravan, not in the best light because it's early morning and we are parked under trees with no sun, so not that great, but this is what it looks like when it's been unhitched for about 2 months, because we are in Grafton, New South Wales. Obviously we still can't travel because of everything that's going on, so it looks a little bit different than we normally would. We have a lot more stuff out, and yeah, I will get Mark to do a bit of a tour around the outside and talk about like the batteries and stuff, but all I know is it is completely off-grid, which is pretty cool. So we normally get the awning out, but we don't normally put these legs down here. We normally just, they connect from the top along here, and we normally just have that, but because we've completely unhitched and been set up for a while, we just wanted a bit more stability, which we've connected up to the fence because there's been a bit of wind when we came. But yeah, we've got our fridge out which we normally have in the back of the car, and yeah, I'm going to take you inside. If you come inside, I will show you the kitchen first. So this kitchen's pretty cool. It's got a lot of storage, very different than the newer kitchens. Our one is at the front of the caravan when normally you kind of have it along the side. So I'll just back up so you can see it fully. So heaps of storage, 4-burner gas stove and a grill underneath. We don't have an oven, which we wouldn't really use if we were free camping. Yeah, all these cupboards up here we use for storage. For the kitchen we have our a rubbish bin in the cupboard at the bottom left, and here we have our extractor fan. Here's a close-up of the oven, you know, sink, all the normal kinds of stuff. We used to have a big oven there that we used to cook on powered sites, but we just, like, we don't go on powered sites much, so it was really heavy and it was broken, so we stopped using that. Yeah, just heaps of storage. Under here, sorry about the mess, there's actually another little drawer there which you lift up and you can store stuff in. Yeah, that's about it in our kitchen. When we brought the caravan, there was a 3-way gas fridge, which what that means is it's all run off gas. In January we installed a Dometic fridge which runs off batteries, which has been absolutely amazing. There used to be a microwave which we removed because we don't use a microwave, and we've just used it as our, like, a laundry hamper, and there's a sort of a border that needs to go back up around here, but we just, yeah, we're really lucky in this caravan. We've got 2 skylights, so one there and one through the unlock these and push it up, which is really, really beautiful. Not that great if there's mosquitoes around, but if there is, we pull this across. There we go. And at night we pull this back down. You can actually lower it so it's like a small one as well, so you don't need to keep the whole thing open. So at night we lower it down, we put this whole thing across, and yeah, that's how the skylight works. So our caravan's really unique in that there's actually 2 kids' bunk beds in the kitchen, and we've got our bedroom at the back. So at the moment we've got our daughter sleeping on the top, and our son will sleep on the bottom when he's a little bit older, but he does roll out, so we just set up a porta cot in the lounge when he sleeps. At the moment we just like store all his bedding and kids toys. So yeah, really cool bunks. Up here we use this for, you know, clothes and stuff like that. There's a stereo that we can turn on, and there are speakers right there, and one for the bedroom as well. We just scoot around here. We have all our stuff. So we have a diesel heater, which is just amazing. I think it's like really cheap to run. Like 1 litre lasts for 10 hours. I'll have to check that, but yeah, and it just comes out at the bottom here, so it just comes down to the ground along here, and it warms up so quickly, and you can set it to come on at certain times as well. You just got to make sure you keep a window open. Here is where we check our water levels when we're free camping. So normally we have it on 4. When it's down to 2, that means half. Behind here is where we turn the water pump on. When we're free camping, you actually need to turn a pump on before you use the water. Here is carbon monoxide alarm, which has never gone off. And here is where we keep track of our battery power, which Mark will talk to you about. At the moment 13.2. We're actually on power at the moment, but yeah, so we're not really using it, but I think we are actually still getting some charge in, even though we are under some trees. What else? Air conditioner, a really old one that we only use when we're on powered sites. We can plug our Jenny in if we wanted to use it. I think we've used that twice, but yeah, we just use all these little fans around here, which we don't use at the moment because it is pretty cold in New South Wales. Up here we've got 2 more storage that we just use. This is where all our computer stuff is. I'll just open it, all our computer stuff, and I think we have something else in there. What else we got? So along here are just shelves where we put our plants. Yeah, that needs to be tidied up. Curtains. The way the windows open are like this, so you just, here we go, just wind them like this. They wind in and out, and they all have mosquito nets in, obviously. What else? Lights, more lights that we can use. There's just lights everywhere. If we back here, we've got a table in the kitchen, which probably in one of our past videos you've probably seen it not there. So we actually take it down in the day because, you know, we've got kids running around, we want lots of room. So you can actually just remove this and we store it in the bedroom, and then we remove that bottom long bit here, and then that just stays in the ground. So we remove that, and there's just like heaps of room. There's another storage under there, which we actually have got another battery in there now, so we actually don't use this for storage. All under here is where our battery system is set up, so Mark will take you through that. Up here is where our Wi-Fi is plugged in. We can turn it off and on. Up here is where you wind an aerial up. We have removed our TV, and that is where you would wind your aerial up if you had a TV. We now have our internet aerial on it. When we want to turn the shower on, I need to turn that off. We need to turn the gas on to warm up the water. So it takes about 20 minutes to get it pretty hot. So that's how we turn it on and off. Have to remember to turn it off. So a side note, the only time we use gas is when we are heating water and our oven, and a gas tank lasts about 4 months now that we're not running our fridge on it, which is awesome. So yeah, I'll back. So here's the door through to the bedroom. I haven't got the camera in wide angle and anything because I actually just want to show you. Wide angle sometimes makes it look way bigger than it is. So here you can open and close the door here, which is really, really awesome. You totally need that when you have kids. And yeah, I'm going to take you through to the bed. So this is a queen size bed. All along the top here. Storage all down there. Storage drawer. That's just where I put my bag. Same on the other side. Same storage. I'm going to lift the bed to show you what it looks like. There is heaps of storage under there. Storage. We just lift this up and a full-size queen size at the moment of storing toilet paper. Yeah, some kids stuff that we bring out, and just heaps of clothes. It needs a real good clean. You can access it from this here. Another new skylight. So this is the mosquito net. You can open it, pull it right out. It's just so beautiful, but dirty. You can bring it down to low. Those are the different things, so you can actually bring it down so it's not fully open. Sorry about my kids screaming, you know, mum life. This comes over like this, so we close that at night. Swing around, and here is our shower, which is huge for a caravan. And yeah, there's another speaker, so I'll show you that in a minute, and I'll just swing around so you can see. And here is a toilet. So yeah, we actually have the toilet and bathroom in our bedroom, which we think is awesome because then we can get out in the night and don't annoy the kids. Here we go, more storage. So yeah, like show lights, I love them above, you know, above my makeup station. Not that I wear any makeup when we're traveling. More shelving space, more space down there. So yeah, so much storage in this caravan, it's just crazy. Another light, we have lights all under there. We can open that back window, which we've got open. So yeah, lots of power points as well. The white ones are used when we're on a powered site. Gold ones, which you would have seen in the kitchen, we use when we are using the battery. So yeah, so up there is what I was talking about. So one of these, which you can open and close. Shower head, this little black thing is that when you turn the water on and like it's in full stream, you can then turn it off if you need to wash yourself and turn the water on. So you just need to do that when you're free camping. Yeah, soap dispenser, all the lovely stuff there is in a shower. Yeah, so it's amazing size shower. I don't even know how I can show you the size of it really. And yeah, toilet, which, you know, a toilet's a toilet. Caravan toilet. It's got one of those things as well. We never turn the fan on. Lights up here, which you just turn off and on here. And yeah, just sink, faucet. This is where we store our vacuum. More cupboards. Like so much storage in here. And yeah, that's what a caravan toilet looks like. So that's probably the inside of the caravan. Because it is an older one, it has got some funny bits and pieces, like, you know, these like wooden cap things that, you know, your curtains go in, which you just wouldn't have in a new caravan. But like, it doesn't matter. All these little shelf things, which we find really, really helpful to put like plants and bits and pieces, is definitely really good storage. We have obviously got smoke alarms. We've got 2, and yeah, just lots of little bits and pieces that you can add. We've got one of them. We've added like lots of hooks to put like bibs and stuff like that. We never have all this stuff out when we're traveling. It's just happened this way. Yeah, lots of little shelves and stuff, but we don't really use them because it's really difficult. But yeah, amazing storage in these big caravans, and we just love the space that this caravan provides. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed the inside tour of the caravan. If you have any questions, just put it in the comments if you're looking at buying an older caravan.
Hey everybody, it's Mark, the other half. Emma told me that I have to run through all our technology on the caravan, going from our solar through to our charge controller through to our diesel heater that we've got on this bad boy. So I'll start with the solar first. The sun hits our solar. We've got 500 watts of solar on our caravan. There's 5 100 watt panels. The maximum amperage we get is around 24 to 25 amps. That's middle of the day, hot sun, no clouds kind of deal. And this goes through our PWM charge controller that we've got. We've got a PWM 30 amp ProStar charge controller. This is what came with the caravan. It's something that won't be sticking around much longer, and I'll tell you guys why soon. But the power comes through into our PWM charge controller, goes through down into our battery bank, and our battery bank, it started off modest with 2 120 amp hour AGM batteries, but now it is at 450 amp hours of 3 150 amp hour giant AGM batteries. Now, why do we have 3? Well, that's because we got sick of having an absorption, 3-way absorption fridge. Now, a 3-way absorption fridge works by pulling the heat out of whatever you stick into it. It's why people recommend you start your a 3-way absorption fridge a day before you go away, and put chilled items into it. Now, when you understand that, realistically, it doesn't really work as a freezer that you would understand at home, which are generally compressor ones. So we went out and bought a 190 litre compressor fridge. This is two-way, it can run 12 volts and it can run on 240, but it's plugged in permanently to our batteries, because if we go and hook up anywhere, we've got a 15 amp cable that goes into our charge controller, so our AC to DC charge controller, and that just slowly charges the batteries, and the fridge is able to run off the trickle charge off that. We also have some safety things in here. We've got fire alarms around the place, and we've also got carbon monoxide alarms, because we do have gas in here, and we do breathe a lot. You need to know about these types of toxic fumes when you in a caravan. As you know, most caravans are permanently ventilated. They have some sort of vent. Legally they have to, unless you are fully 100% electric. So if you've got a lithium battery set up, you've got like your air conditioner runs off your batteries, if you've got a fridge that is fully electric, and your cooktop is like induction or whatever, you generally don't need to have any ventilation mandatory on your caravan. But majority of caravans do, especially on the door vent. Something to remember: if you're going down the PWR, you need to tape it all up so you don't get bull dust inside your caravan. We've got a water level meter here, which measures both water tanks. We have a total of 200 litres of fresh water, and we've just bought a 95 litre grey water tank that we'll be installing before we get on our next journey, and that just helps us with our free camping a lot more. We have a 5 kilowatt Webasto diesel heater. These things heat up the caravan crazy fast. They are really good. They take on literally nothing. We have a 10 litre tank in the front, in the trunk of the caravan, and that can last, theoretically, if you have this on low, 100 hours worth of heating. But we never do that. We have it full jet set, like it's like heating up this whole place really fast. So coming from our solar setup down to our battery setup, our batteries are actually just down here. I'll show you two, because the third one's underneath this right here. They're set up. I've already got one of the boxes pulled off here. As you can see, it's all wired up. We've got all our fuses. This is the main battery that a lot of stuff comes into first. Then we've got a second one here, 150 amp, 150 amp, and then underneath this chair here we have another one. And over here we have our new DC to DC 40 amp inner drive unit. And why did we get this? We got this because we were constantly, after getting a new fridge, we were constantly chewing through our batteries. And it's because this fridge uses about 80 amp hours a day max. That's like max settings in a hot environment. And we weren't able to replenish our charge as fast as we would like with a traditional solar PWM and driving around. We were driving around and we were only getting, I think it was like 10 to 15 amps while we're fully cruising at 100 kilometers per hour in the BT50, and that wasn't enough to replenish our batteries. And so what we did is we have installed this 40 amp DC to DC inner drive unit for future proofing our caravan, because we can go lithium with this, but the initial change was so that we could force as much current, up to 40 amps, into these batteries while we're driving, and that replenishes our solar on overcast days really fast, way faster than plugging in, way faster than our generator, because our generator and plugging in is limited by our AC to DC charge controller, and that is 7.5 to 10 amps. I did recently go out and get a new AC to DC charge controller, which is 20 amps. And that does really well, especially if you're charging with a 7.5 and the 20 amps at the same time. And that was only like $300 from a company called Kickass. That is its name. It's right here. There you go. Look at that product placement. That's actually one of the best AC to DC charge controllers on the market for the value as well. What we're wanting to do though, however, is make sure that this caravan is as light as possible and is able to facilitate our life as best as possible. So we don't want to be worrying every single night what the voltage is. We don't want to be worrying about any of these things. We want our fridge to work. we want our lifetime to work as well. So we're heavy power users in the morning and at the night. So generally if we're traveling or free camping, we're trying to charge up everything as much as possible on our inverter. And our inverter is actually underneath another area in the van. I'll get Emma to lift it up. It's underneath here, right here. It's a 1500 watt to 3000 watt inverter, a really good German one. I forgot the brand name. Emma will probably put the link in the description below. But underneath this section of the caravan, we've got like our water pump, we've got our inverter, and we've got our diesel heater, and it's all plumbed outside. But that inverter, what we've got around the whole place is we've got a lot of these gold plugs. So we've got a traditional white plug, which is used for plugging in when you're plugged in at a campsite with a 15 amp cable. This is from our inverter, and we've got heaps of them throughout the whole house so that you live like you normally would when you're traveling around free camping. And it's simple to do. You turn the inverter on. It's got a low draw. I think it's like 0.8 of an amp on its maximum setting with a fan going. Generally I think it's between 85 and 92% efficient, which is still really good. We've got a big enough battery bank, 450 amp hours. Divide that by 2 is 220.5 amp hours of usable power, because AGMs you're only able to use 50% of the power before you get into the danger zone. What I do want to do in the future is I want to remove all our solar panels off the roof and replace them with 190 watt solar panels, so we can have up to about 800 watts or a kilowatt worth of solar, and plug that into the 40 amp DC to DC charger, and then get them to charge to 170 amp hour lithium ion phosphate batteries. That'll be the best bet. Then what we'd be able to do is we'd be able to wire something, even something like this. This is, I think, 10 to 16 amps for startup, and then I think it's like 7 to 8 amps running for this old bad boy air conditioner up there. But lithium can do that because they have huge maximum discharge rates and amperage. If you get a cheap battery, it might only be like 50 amps. But a good one should be 100 amps or more for maximum discharge, and that's what you want when you're trying to start things up. This will really help us use our generator less and less. But we'll go outside now and we'll show you around, because we've got other elements on the caravan that we really want to show you, and how things are wired up, and also show you the tow hitch that we have. We have a Cruise Master DO35 tow hitch version 2 or 3, one of the latest ones, and it's one of the best tow hitches. Like, it changes the game in terms of articulation and stability while towing. Alright guys, here we are outside, going to show you a tour of our storage compartments on this Roma Caravan. One thing I do want to say about caravans, when you're shopping for a second-hand one, you always want to have a check at the chassis. Is it a strong enough chassis? You want to verify the ATM, so the VIN plate on it. You need to verify the VIN plate. You need to weigh it before you even buy it. Make sure it all aligns. These are like critical things. Do not get suckered into a bad purchase. It's one of the things you need to know. But chassis matter. Always know. A lot of people are getting A-frames broken these days because they're putting too much on. They've got too much of a tow ball, and they're zooming down the PWR or going to these exotic locations around beautiful Australia and snapping them. So we've got the DO35 hitch up the front. We've got the old jockey in the front. I think that's like a 6 or an 8-inch one. I forgot. It's great. They're like 90 bucks from BCF. We've got 2 9 kg LPG tanks. These last ages now. I think the most they've lasted is nearly like a month and a half, because our fridge doesn't use it. We rely on solar. This is our frunk that we've got. When we lift it up here, we put a lot of stuff in there. Stuff that's permanently here is our 10 litre diesel heater tank, which is over here. That's 10 litre capacity, and basically this is all the setup stuff for the caravan. All the setup stuff goes in here, so we have one place for everything, from our levelers through to our locks, locks for the hitch, we've got one for the wheel, we've got padlocks for the chains, because just because your hitch may be locked up doesn't mean that someone can't steal it because of the chains. That's what I learned. And I'll close this up. Yeah, see these are really good. The taps are really good. It's really good to have a tap on the outside that you can use, especially wash your hands when they're dirty. Got a brake safe unit in here. Got a front window. This thing's amazing, especially when you're in the heat of the Sahara of Australia. And we have a window at the front and at the back, and that's actually becoming a unique feature these days. A lot of caravans, these composite caravans, don't actually have rear windows at all. There's normally like the place located for the toilet or like the kids. So dunnies or kids go in the back. But we have a window in the front and at the back. You open it up and you get a huge amount of ventilation through there. Some things I do want to change is these things here are useless. They're like circle grips, and I'm going to change them to butterflies. Alright, now we come down the side of the van. This is a full through compartment in the caravan. We stick a lot of various things in here. It goes from one end to the next. We have two doors, so you can access it from both sides. And if you're wondering where this is inside, this is behind like a headboard area of our caravan bed. So you can't get into it from there. You could if you really wanted to, but you can't. The only access is these two doors, but they go through the whole thing, and that's a really good piece of storage that we don't even utilize to the max at all. We come around to this side of the caravan and we get down to the business part of it. Inside here is the cassette toilet, and that's how we fill up our water sprayer. That's our cassette toilet in here. Nothing too flash, mate. We've got two through here. We've got two water hoses, water compartments for us to fill up. They go to separate tanks, but the tanks are linked together. So they're 200-litre tanks, and they've got a join in the top. So when one gets full, it actually starts siphoning across over into this tank. And when I fill them up, I take both of them off, and it lets the air ventilate through, because it just makes it fill up faster.
Got this.
Oh, and down here, we've got two key units. We've got the exit for our drains. This is where we hook up to a jerry can, or if we're at a caravan park, we hook up to the silage unit. This right here is our exhaust for our diesel heater, and this gets really nice and warm over here. Obviously the poisonous part, this is the burning, comes out here, it's the exhaust. Up here, this is where we charge. Like, this is a 15 amp plug, just usual, whack it in there. Come around this side, we've got our vents. These were, we took them out after we put the new fridge in, and we didn't actually have any mesh or anything to stop flies coming in. And we're wondering where all these flies were coming in Dubbo. And thank God we got this, it's like mozzie netting that we just wrapped around the inside and put them back on. But the compressor fridge does wonders. That up there is an old vent for a microwave. We don't have a microwave, so that's useless. In here is our hot water heater, and what we just recently did when we came here is we cleaned it out. So underneath here there's an anode that you stick inside, and the anode is like a sacrificial lamb for rust and stuff. So you've got to replace these once a year or something. Some people have to replace them once every 6 months, especially if you don't filter your water. So we filter our water, so no calcium deposits are coming in anyway. That's all filtered out by our water filter. We've got two 10-inch water filters before they even come into the caravan. Then we've got a 7-stage reverse osmosis water system inside. We cleaned this out, and it was funny. There's so much calcium in there, but this gets really hot, and it makes a really cool noise when it's going. Alright, so as I was talking about before, this is our rear window. This is a luxury these days. A lot of people don't have them. But this is into our kitchen, and it creates a massive pull of air going through the whole caravan. It ventilates it, and trust me, you value that so much when you're out in the middle of nowhere. in the heat. We've got a spare wheel back here. This bad boy is running on what they called BF Goodrich KO2s, I think, like tops here. It's like an Australian favourite tyre to have, go anywhere kind of like all-terrain. This is all mounted onto a special custom back bull bar, and on top of this is a checker plate box for which we keep our Jenny. So we've got a Honda EU22 Jenny inside, and I also keep a jerry can for gas and then a jerry can for our water. When we were free camping, we'll use this 25 litre water jerry can, just so it'll catch like grey water. Alright, so out here, as you know, Emma's probably talked about a temporary setup while we're in our pandemic camp down. This is really cool. I just want to talk about this side. Obviously there's an external TV thing, but we have no TVs inside. We ripped out the old TV and we threw away the TV that went in here. No regrets there. None whatsoever. We actually have an external area for our inverter, compliments of the Spider. And this brings 240 volts outside off our batteries. When we're plugged into mains, you can just plug into that bad boy. The mains at the moment is running our 45 litre Evercool fridge, which normally runs in the back of the BT50. But this unit right here, what is this, Penelope? This is a grey water tank, a 95 litre grey water tank. Alright, we're back. We had a little minor emergency with one of the mini-me's running around here. But I was talking about this 95 litre grey water tank that we've got to mount underneath the caravan. There's a really good spot just in front of the front tyre, which means everything would still be balanced while we're towing. And this isn't even going to be full all the time. This is just going to be when we're like free camping or stealth camping somewhere, just pull over, all our water will go in here, won't have to hop out.
So I actually forgot to close off the vlog while we're back at the caravan. Now I'm sitting at a park outside our Mazda BT50, which hauls our caravan. Yeah, I should probably do another video on our experiences with a Mazda BT50 and hauling a very large caravan. It's got a good and bad points, but hey, I hope you enjoyed our tour of our Roma caravan. We absolutely love it, and we are so grateful that we found this caravan for our family. Initially when we were looking, we had actually clicked on the link to this caravan in Gumtree, and for some reason we didn't actually have a look at the page. It had opened, it'd been sitting on our computer for about 2 weeks. I think it was because we thought it didn't have a shower and toilet, which was something we were looking for as an essential on our list, and for some reason we just decided to go back, and we realised it did. The guy had just not put any pictures up of a bathroom or toilet and hadn't even mentioned it. So anyway, we went to have a look at the caravan in Brisbane, and the minute we walked in, like, I literally knew within about 30 seconds that we absolutely loved it. It had everything we wanted, and we really just loved the old style, and it was in our budget, and fortunately he sold it to us, and we did have a little bit of a bidding war with someone else who decided they actually wanted it as well, but we came out on the good end and got our caravan, and yeah, we just absolutely love it. We couldn't imagine going back to living in a really big space. We're just so used to living in the small space, just living a real minimal lifestyle, and that's what the caravan provides. I think when we move into a house, we will be moving into quite a small house. We would never have enough stuff to fill a big house, nor do we need that space. We love the outside space, and just living in a caravan has just given us so much freedom. For us, not having a mortgage, not paying rent, not paying for power, just paying for gas, and the food that we need to eat is total abundance and freedom for us, and we just absolutely love it. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and yeah, any questions, just leave them in the comments box and we'll be happy to answer them. And subscribe to my channel and like this video, and we'll see you next time. See ya.